Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Did you know that the Superman films have a parallel history to the Batman movies? Superman the movie was the first attempt to portray Superman in a serious light. The tagline was, "You'll believe a man can fly," and that's exactly what director Richard Donner intended to do, convince an audience that the man they were seeing on screen could actually fly. But the price of this idea came too high for its producers, so Donner was booted off the franchise during Superman 2's production and replaced with Richard Lester. In Superman 3, more emphasis was put on comedy and Richard Pryor was even brought in. And boy did it suck balls, but not nearly as much as the cinematic abomination I have to view today. Welcome to Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, where we learn that wars aren't caused by differing ideologies, power-hungry dictators, or economic necessity. No, it's all because of nuclear weapons. Just nuclear weapons and the evil people who profit from them. And boy, am I not looking forward to this one bit! Oh, hi, Nostalgia Critic! Oh, I bet you're wondering what I'm doing here. Well, see, the thing is that I review comic books and you review movies, and I figured if I was going to review a comic book movie, yeah, I'll just quit right here.
Oh, no you don't! You start this dumbass review, we're gonna finish it! But first, get out of those clothes!
What the? How did you?
Out!
I'm going!
Good. So, let's go ahead and review... What are we reviewing again? Fuck donkeys! Alright, we open on the familiar credits of the Superman franchise. Except on a budget of $2. And sucky.
The film is produced by renowned schlock factory Golan Globus, known for outright stealing money from investors to spread around to various movie projects instead of the one they were supposed to go to. Uwe Boll would be so proud.
The film begins proper with Russians
in space!
How'd you do that with your voice?
Clean throat.
Huh.
Well, this is fine enough. Nothing could possibly go wrong out here. See? This is what happens when you litter in space.
Because if you don't give a hoot, who will?
But fortunately, Superman is around to save them. By the way, folks, get used to this shot of Superman flying at the camera. Almost every flying scene has it.
Oh, and look! Despite the fact that they're in the vacuum of space, Superman's cape is flapping around like it's in a wind tunnel. Wait a minute, did he just talk? As in, talking in space?
Oh yeah.
How deep are we in this movie?
4 minutes.
Too long!
In Soviet Russia, physics breaks you!
We move on to a scene where it looks like Clark Kent is selling the family farm, because apparently his mom croaked in between movies or something. I guess it's a good thing she resurrected herself in Superman Returns.
Timing!
He goes into the barn and finds the old spaceship that brought him to Earth and pulls out a glowing green crystal.
Which he also got out of the ship in the first movie, didn't he?
You know, if you're gonna pick apart all the plot holes, we're gonna be here all day.
Point taken.
No, actually, this little crystal is meant to be our Deus Ex Machina for later.
Oh good! I can't wait to be pleasantly disappointed.
Since apparently the writers felt that the impending nuclear war wasn't a strong enough story, we have a series of subplots littered throughout the movie. Most of them go absolutely nowhere, a result of the fact that when the film was first released, more than 40 minutes were cut from it. Although, based on some of the information on the film that's been collected, they didn't go anywhere in the first cut either. So I guess their loss is our gain.
The first subplot is that the Daily Planet has been taken over by an evil Rupert Murdoch stand-in, which isn't really that far off from the real Rupert Murdoch.
Tedious. Don't tell me you only read the pictures.
What I have here are some mock copies of our new layout.
Isn't that headline irresponsible?
Maybe, but it'll sell a hell of a lot of newspapers.
Now make an unethical entertainment channel and a conservative news channel to point out what's wrong with it.
He appoints his daughter, Lacey, as the new publisher.
The Daily Planet hasn't made any money in 3 years.
And the name of the game is making money.
A mainstream news source more interested in making money above reasonable reporting? That's just unbelievable and unrealistic.
So it turns out Lacey immediately starts falling in love for Clark. For some reason. Gotta be the glasses. Oh yeah. But then, the President of the United States makes a chilling announcement.
And because the summit has failed, we have no choice but to strive to be second to none in the nuclear arms race.
But wait! Another subplot manages to sneak its way in. A teacher tries to console her elementary school students about this horrible brewing crisis.
Now, I know you're all upset by the crisis.
No, we're upset because they canceled Power Rangers.
I just hit puberty and now there's no Kimberly.
The best thing we can do is to try to think positively. Now, is there anything we can do? Doesn't anyone have a suggestion? All right. I'll make a suggestion.
I mean, isn't this just how you spent your classes back in the day? I mean, it's not like you did math or science or anything.
Jeremy, what do you think we can do about the crisis?
I tell you, I'd write a letter too that would do some good.
Motherfucker.
Superman.
Yes, this is what passes for a plot point in this movie. The kid writes a letter for Superman to be delivered via Lois Lane. She shows it to Clark Kent, and thus, somehow, this sends Superman into an existential dilemma about what he should do. He even goes to the Fortress of Solitude to consult the Elders of Krypton on this.
The Earth is too primitive. You can flee to new worlds.
No, I'm forbidden to interfere.
Not that stopped me in the last 3 movies.
If you teach the Earth to put its fate in any one man, even yourself, you're teaching them to be betrayed.
Betrayed. Betrayed. Betrayed. Betrayed.
Oh, did I forget to mention betrayed? Betrayed! But Clark Kent's continual moping about the issue doesn't end there, because now we have a scene of Clark and Lois meeting up and ripping off the first flying scene from the original movie. And I don't mean copy it, I mean note for note the friggin' same. But before we can get to that horseshit, they walk off the edge of Clark's patio. What, you've never been?
Clark? Clark?
I'd just like to kill you now, Lois. And now quite possibly the worst green screen effect you've ever seen in your entire life in 3, 2, 1. Wow, look at that background. It's like we got transported into the Flintstones.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
And you'll do the right thing no matter what it is. You always have.
Oh, then they rip off the magic memory erasing kiss from the end of the second movie, too. Well, you've got to give the series credit for consistency. It's just as idiotic here as it was there.
So Superman makes his decision and goes to the United Nations building, which is now in Metropolis. Interesting relocation. Jeremy and Superman walk into the United Nations together. So I suppose this is as good a time as any to say goodbye to little Jeremy, since this is pretty much the last we'll ever see of him in this movie.
Goodbye!
Goodbye!
Goodbye, Jeremy!
So
Goodbye! I'm sorry you'll never act in another movie again!
Enjoy your mental scars!
Oh God, it's this scene.
What? What's the matter?
Just watch.
For many years now, I've lived among you as a visitor. As of today, I'm not a visitor anymore, and I can't stand idly by and watch us stumble into the madness of possible nuclear destruction. And so I've come to a decision. Effective immediately, I'm going to rid our planet of all nuclear weapons.
Did Superman just say he's gonna rid the world of nuclear weapons by himself, whether the governments are unwilling to or not?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's okay with this?
They are, Critic. Which means that it's time to play international politics! Alright, Nostalgia Critic, you're Israel, a country surrounded on all sides by enemies who would happily see you wiped off the map. However, the only thing keeping them at bay is your nuclear arsenal. Now Superman comes in and says he's gonna take that arsenal away. What do you do?
Tell him to hump my ass?
Oh, I'm sorry, Critic. The correct answer was applaud wildly. Next question, and this one's for the game. You're the Soviet Union. You're engaged in a Cold War against the United States, and the fear of mutually assured destruction via nuclear weapons is the only thing that keeps you and the US from engaging in combat with conventional weapons. Suddenly, Superman comes along and says he's gonna take away all your nuclear weapons. What do you do?
Oh, I know! Applaud wildly!
That is correct! You win the grand prize, Critic! You get to continue watching this crap! Yes, folks, in this film, if you believe that the presence of nuclear weapons has actually prevented war rather than escalated it, this isn't your movie. So we get this montage of shots of both the United States and the Soviet Union launching their nuclear missiles into space, where Superman can catch them and hurl them into the sun.
So if they're willing to get rid of their nukes, why the hell do they need Superman in the first place?
Good PR.
Oh. But while that's going on, subplot number 5 says Lex Luthor just broke out of prison. Good God, his prison has more holes in it than Swiss cheese!
Oh, but let's ignore him for a second. We've got a real star in this movie, Critic. Why, it's John Cryer, who played the unforgettable role of Ducky from Pretty in Pink.
So appearing in this is a step down in his career.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty bad. He plays Luthor's nephew, Lenny Luthor. Ha ha.
This character is harmless enough, but of course he has to talk.
The dude of steel.
Yeah, you're just an experiment, freako.
What? Oh no.
How long is this movie again?
Hour and a half.
So Lex Luthor, being Lex Luthor, has only one thing on his mind.
Destroy Superman!
Because that hobby has worked so well in the past. Couldn't you take up knitting?
So he steals a strand of Superman's hair from a museum.
Here you can see a 1,000-pound load easily suspended by his single hair.
That hair is a sample of Superman's genetic material. With my genius and enough nuclear power to mutate the genes, I can create a being who's more powerful than him.
Yes, much like the comics that spawned this piece of crap, nuclear power does whatever the hell the writer wants it to do. It should also be pointed out that although this single strand of Superman's hair is strong enough to lift 1,000 pounds, it apparently can be cut with a simple hedge clipper.
So Lex assembles a terrifying group of minor characters who will serve no purpose in the movie to discuss his evil plans.
I, Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of the modern era, have discovered a way to destroy Superman. Behold, my unscrupulous friends. Shut those blinds. The sun is hurting my eyes.
God, this partly cloudy weather is harmful to my transparent evilness.
You know what the sun is? It's nothing more than a huge nuclear bomb.
Yeah, it's a tad more complicated than that. There's a lot of certain...
Nuclear bomb!
Okay.
So his plan is to send the genetic material, which looks like a quart of silly putty, into the sun on board one of the nuclear missiles, and that'll somehow create a being that can fight Superman. Lex also throws in a few fabric samples into the case, holding the genetic material to become clothes. Yes, they say that the computer on board will somehow weave an outfit for him out of those little squares or something.
Well, it looks as though you've broken the laws of nature, too.
So Superman tosses the missile into the sun and the evil nuclear man is born. No, really, he's born, fetus and everything. Surprised the sun didn't just push it out of his vagina.
And of course, he's sporting silver-painted Lee press-on nails. Because when you think Superman's greatest enemy, you think Lee press-on nails. Oh my god, Sister, did you get into a fight with Superman with those things?
So yeah, our evil nuclear man is basically just Fabio with a mullet and laryngitis.
Destroy Superman now.
But enough of the supervillain, it's time for some comedy! Lacey and Clark are working out together. Wasn't there an impending nuclear war just on the horizon? Come to think of it, why was the war about to happen?
Because the summit failed.
Summits fail all the time. That doesn't guarantee war.
We don't take kindly to logic in these here parts, boy. Now get back to watching Clark Kent act like an idiot. But wait, we also had to have some goofy antics as she makes a date with Clark at the same time that Lois is having an interview with Superman. I get a feeling hijinks will ensue.
I'll be right back.
Hi. You. Lacey?
Lacey.
Hi. Oh, where's all the
Lex Luthor where he's... what the hell? He's dancing with a woman in Victorian dress, and then she just leaves without anyone mentioning her again.
Big-lived alligator moment! Oh, that's a... I don't know, the nostalgia chick brought it up. So Nuclear Man shows up, who's oddly enough voiced by Gene Hackman.
You have my voice. No, you have my voice.
Which means... nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Nuclear Man walks into the apartment and I guess his batteries die.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery.
No, it turns out Nuclear Man is powered by the sun.
He's a solar-powered nuclear menace. Well, at least he's a green villain. And in case anyone's wondering, yes, there's about 100 scenes where he's clearly not in direct sunlight, and yet he's fine. Don't you just hate inconsistencies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not done ripping off the rest of the movies because Lex Luthor contacts Superman, somehow knowing where he is, and threatens him into a confrontation. After some banter between the two, Superman is introduced to Nuclear Man.
To a nice guy who's about to finish last.
Did Nuclear Man just belch? I mean, what was that? What are you laughing at?
See, I just had this wonderful image in my head of Gene Hackman in a recording studio having to do like 30 takes of that.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. After more drawn-out dialogue, we finally have the two starting to fight. And boy, is it a letdown. They don't even really punch each other. They just struggle for a while in front of some really awkward blue screen effects. So they fly all over the world to fight. They fly over Italy, where Nuclear Man unleashes a volcano upon the citizens, but Superman plugs it up.
È il mio lavoro, non fa niente. Arrivederci.
Grazie, you like to leave the bar. We thank you, strange red underwear wearing a man.
So good, spaghetti.
They then travel to China, where Nuclear Man blows up the Great Wall, but fortunately, Superman is there to...
go all Gumby on our asses.
Does Superman have wall repairing ability?
Not in any comic I've read.
To finish off, Nuclear Man takes the Statue of Liberty and tries to drop it into the city.
But luckily, Superman catches the statue, somehow carrying it by its finger without it breaking off. Physics? What's that? However, when he tries to return the statue, it leaves him open to an attack by Nuclear Man, who just kind of scratches him once.
Oh, I got nail polish on my neck. Power's fading!
This somehow makes Superman sick and age rapidly. However, he thankfully has that glowing Deus Ex Machina from earlier. We have no idea what the hell it really is, or why it's never mentioned until now, but it heals Superman. At least I think it does. We never see it heal him, so we can have another drawn-out fight with Nuclear Man.
Yay! Because we haven't seen enough of that yet! So Nuclear Man suddenly falls in love with Lacey, don't ask, you shouldn't care, and flies off into the city to kidnap her. Yeah, because it was so cool the first time you did it.
Where is the woman?
Give it up, you'll never find her.
Look out! He's going nuclear! Oh, what? Like the humor in this is really that much better.
Stop! Don't do it! The people!
Don't make me yell at you some more!
So Nuclear Man blows up some product placement, makes the film reverse, and Superman just stands there until he caves in and tells him where Lacey is. He tricks him into an elevator, then flies it up and drops him off on the moon.
However, a sliver of light goes into the elevator, recharging him. After Superman fixes the most unconvincing flag ever, they have an irritatingly long, slow-motion fight.
Nuclear Man finally gets a hold of Lacey and flies her through space, where she's, of course, perfectly able to breathe.
What? What? You can't breathe in space, guys! This is kindergarten science! Kindergarten!
It's okay, Critic. It's okay. It's gonna be alright.
No, it's not! This movie is still playing!
But Superman moves the freaking moon out of orbit to block the sun from Nuclear Man! Sorry for the tidal waves and gravitational stress, peoples of the Earth. I have to stop a supervillain!
After getting Lacey to safety, you know, from space, Superman takes Nuclear Man and drops him into a nuclear power plant, which I guess defeats him, but shouldn't that technically make him more powerful?
Solar-powered Nuclear Man, remember.
So Lacey tells her dad to stuff it, the Daily Planet is brought back, Luthor is put back in jail, Jeremy is nowhere to be seen, and the whole nuclear war thing just sort of resolves itself. Superman makes some bullshit speech to the world about finding their own path and how he couldn't free them from war. Which doesn't really make any sense considering we saw people clearly lining up to give up their nuclear weapons.
And there will be peace. There will be peace when the people of the world want it so badly that their governments will have no choice but to give it to them.
Oh, I see. We just didn't want peace hard enough.
Of course, it all makes sense. Peace doesn't come about through economic interdependence and the spread of similar ideals. It's just wanting it.
Yeah. What a fucking load!
This movie sucks!
Its morals are bullshit, its plot is half thrown together, and physics take a backseat to mediocre special effects that you more likely see in one of Linkara's videos.
Hey!
Get over it, you comic geek, your special effects suck.
Bat credit card.
The Bat credit card!
He's the nostalgia critic. He remembers it so you don't have to.
Thanks, Bat credit card to Jesus!
What do you do? What do you do? Clean throat. What do you do? That'd make a great blooper there.